Polymega has awoken from its slumber. And right before I'm going to go to bed. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of the Good Times Newsline Flashcast. Yeah, that's right. That's right. This Flashcast is going to be a little bit special because we're using different technology here on the StreamYards. We're actually live on X, and I'm going to download this and then post it back up on YouTube for various reasons. We're actually testing some technologies out here, and we're going to be introduced to new technologies from the folks over at Polymega in this breaking news update. Yes, it is indeed a Polymega news update. And what did they have to say? What did they have to say for themselves, those guys over at Polymega? What did they say? They said the Polymega collection has been announced. And also the 1.1.32 update could be as soon as next week. Yes. Let's get into this all. Let's dig in. We got some crazy things to talk about. This one might be a beefy one, so strap in, get yourself a beverage, and let's get into this. All right. So first things first, the article on polymega.com/blogs. It's a little picture of Asteroids with the Atari logo. Yeah, it's that company that's put in a lot of money into Polymega, huh? All right, more on that later. Anyway, November 1st, 2024, introducing Polymega Collection. At long last, Polymega System Software Update 1.1.32 will be releasing any day now. All right, it could be next week, like we were talking about. And with that news comes some great new features that we've been hard at work on for the last few months that we want to share with you. Introducing Polymega Collection. There it is. There's a logo for Polymega Collection. Polymega Collection is an ongoing series of important classic and contemporary games on physical media, playable exclusively on Polymega. Our editions include the original title game, its international releases, as well as additional examples of games that influenced the work and those which were eventually inspired by it. This sounds like these collections. Sounds a little bit familiar. Sounds a little familiar. All right, more on that later. All right, so we've got the Polymega Collection. Look, it's a disc, a little thingy. I don't know. Let's look a nice little jewel case with some stuff in there. I don't know about manuals or anything, but we'll read on. Each release includes one or more discs that are compatible with Polymega. The first is the primary game in DVD format. Additionally, some releases will include bonus game discs that can be played on original game consoles as well. So not only will they be working on Polymega, but they will also work on your original hardware should you have the original hardware, which is also really cool. It's like a kind of a way to get some of these re-released in their original hardware release versions, which is kind of cool. Each release is region-free and will work on Polymega regardless of where you are or what language you speak. Unlike most modern game releases, Polymega Collection games include carefully crafted visual companions, reversible slip covers, OB spines for international collectors, and more. And exclusively for early adopters, a limited edition Polymega Collection pin is included with each release. So I guess, order now or order soon, and you will get some stuff. And it's got some cool things there with the logo for the collection there. The best thing about Polymega Collection is that in many cases, we're bringing games to Polymega that would otherwise be unplayable using an element module such as arcade games. That's another one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Of course, we're also providing support for several new systems that might not otherwise be compatible with Polymega. Now, that's a very interesting thing being said there. We're also providing support for several new systems that might not otherwise be compatible with Polymega. Now I know what they mean. We're going to get to that later, because there, of course, there is some other things that might be involved in some of these collections. So anyway, immerse yourself in lifelike arcade options or action, built exclusively for Polymega collection games. Immersive mode. We're gonna put this one up here. Immersive mode gives you a brand new way to play games on Polymega that draws you into the action like never before. Starting a Polymega collection arcade game gives you a view that realistically presents the arcade machine as if you were standing in front of it, fully playable. Yeah, we can look at some of the cool things that are happening in the video there. We get the disc and all that. But I want to show you this thing here that looks kind of cool. It looks kind of interesting the way they're doing it. See, there's that links. There's that links there. Yes. See, there's the immersive arcade mode, right? You can do it virtually or whatever. Yeah, you could vertically or horizontal, so you get that tate mode, right? But look, they have the whole cabinet with the with everything, with all of the different things. You got the marquee, you've got the control deck, you've got, you know, the inner things in there. It's pretty cool looking. It's pretty cool looking. I'm just gonna say right there, that's pretty neat. All right. So going through here, you can enter the virtual display controls and adjust your view to zoom out to see more of the machine, or even rotate your view and monitor so that you can see the arcade machine in its upright entirety, perfect for vertical shooters and other games you're sure to want to play as you build your Polymega collection library. We'll play that one again. We're working with some of the best game publishers from across the console gaming landscape and have dozens of games in production for the coming months. So that means there's more than just what's happening right here, right now. All right. The best news, the first two Polymega collection games, Asteroids and Karate Champ, are available for purchase today and will ship within the next week. Check out the new games section of polymega.com to see what's on offer. We will take a look at that very shortly. We'll be going ahead and taking a look at that, that section of the website. Now we get into the system software update. All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch back. We're going to switch back to this. So what's new? In System Software Update 1.1.32, new and improved virtual display filters with multi-depth scanline modes, and improved console composite filter, and new RF and black and white modes. I wonder what that might mean. I wonder what that might be leaning towards. Well, let's go with the next one. Hundreds of new Atari 2600 and 7800 games have been added to the Polymega database to get you ready for the release of the upcoming Atari Pro module. Details coming soon. So that's why you need that whole like RF and black and white modes and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, there were some 2600 games that supported that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The ability to permanently restore most of the original PM01 pack-in games that were removed in a previous update. That language is scary. Just going to put it out there right now. I enjoy the fact that we will have the ability to permanently restore most of the original pack-in games that were removed from the previous update, and I'm saddened that the word most is not the word all. I mean, I know it hurts, and the licensing is this person bought this and this, bought this and that, blah, 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 blah. And we can't get the license because it's messy, and I get it. I get what they might say there. But those awesome games that we fund for $5 and recorded and archived right here on the channel on baconicecream.com or baconicecream.com/YouTube, I should say. All of those videos that say, hey, these are the games that you could have played had you left your Polymega back in time, which I did. You can still play, which is kind of cool. but we're not going to be able to play all of them. It looks like they're going to be only able to restore some, but not all. Okay, moving on. Bug fixes, latency issues, and unwanted noise effects and more will also be fixed. Hopefully, bug fixes for other things, because I've heard that there were some updates that kind of broke things for fans of this game series over here. This game series here, they're called Lunar. Yeah, Lunar. Yeah, if you had the if you had these guys right here, you got those Sega Saturn. You got those Sega Saturn ones. Yeah, if you had the Sega Saturn ones, you could have them working with the fan translations, and they were working just fine. And then an update, I think, broke one or two of the games in the series, Lunar 1 or Lunar 2, or in both of them, something like that. People can get down in the comments below when the YouTube video goes up, and let me know there. But yeah, there could be some issues there. So there is that. There is that, of course. And then that was it as far as the blog post goes. Team Polymega says, there you go. All right. So what do we want to look at next? So we want to go ahead and we want to go to shop now. All right. So consoles, modules, controllers, accessories. There's no game section on the menu yet. On this little mini menu, you guys got to put that link there, guys. Come on. You guys said that it was going to be there. But we can check out the new game section right now. So that we hit the games section, we're going to polymega.com/collections/games. And we have the first two collections. This is Polymega Collection Volume 1, Asteroids, and Volume 2, Karate Champ. And notice the price points here are $39.99 US for each. It is a little dear. It is a little expensive, in my opinion, for a collection of classic games. But I think there is a purpose for having a solid price point along the way. Like all collections will be X, like our friends over here. All collections will be X, so there is the Gigacart version of an Evercade cartridge that is a little more. And then there's the standard pricing. So I understand a standard price, but we'll get into this. We're going to start with the Asteroids collection. So there you go, the Asteroids collection in a nice little package there. You got, this is very European looking, like a PlayStation European looking jewel case. I kind of dig it because I think they look pretty cool. This is you got the price. You can add it to the cart. You can do all that stuff. Embark on a galactic journey with Asteroids, the iconic arcade game that thrusts players into the heart of chaotic asteroid field in a frantic fight to survive. Immerse yourselves with lifelike cabinets, complete with multiple zoom and rotation modes that make you feel like you're really standing in front of the machine, as well as new Atari Lynx CD and Quadrascan virtual display modes so you can play classic arcade and handheld games that look and feel just like the originals. Now, back in this video here, if I pop this back up, you've got that. This is what they were talking about, the Quadrascan virtual display mode. You got that whole virtual thing. You had the Asteroids Deluxe right there. You can see how it's kind of like you got that little cool look. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. And you got that, you can clearly see that this is supposed to be simulating vector graphics on a monitor. That's also very cool. And then of course you got the virtual display mode. Look at that virtual LCD and the links there. That was also looking really cool. I dig it. And of course you can turn it on and off, I guess. And you can turn some sort of smoothing and that kind of stuff. But that's very cool. It's very cool that they're putting in that effort. Now, does the effort imply, okay, effort was put in, you got a little extra in your presentation, so it is, give us the extras. Okay, yeah, maybe that could be a thing. But it's still the price point is a little bit sticker shocky. But just hold the phone real quick. All right. Included are foundational influences like Lunar Lander, as well as gameplay evolving entries like Space Duel, Gravitar, and more to save your cosmic journey into space. The games list. So this is a true to form collection of games. This isn't just Asteroids and you get Asteroids and a cool thing or whatever. Look at all the games that are on here. So it's Orbit, that's one. Gravitar, the arcade version, and the 2600 version. So we're at 3. Lunar Lander at 4, Asteroids Arcade 2600 and 7800, we're at 7. Asteroids Deluxe Arcade at 8, Super Asteroids and Missile Command Links at 9, and Space Duel at 10. So 10 games on the first collection. 10 games on the first collection. So 10 games, $39.99. I mean, you've got the extra cool things. That's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. Again, I understand the price point thing. I would really be happy if they were $29.99, to be honest. It really hit home. It really hit that price point, like that $29.99 would have been great. Would have been great. I know you get the limited edition pin and all that kind of stuff. I mean, come on. You make those for like a couple bucks. It's like not a big deal. What's included in this one is the Polymega game DVD, a visual companion, which I think, I don't know if that's a manual. I don't know. Controller reference, which I guess is your manual, a little reference card. An OB spine for the French region and the Japan region, which is kind of cool. So you get that whole thing, like the Saturn games had those little surrounds, right? People collect those too. Polymega collection sticker and the Asteroids Cross Polymega collection pin while supplies last. So if you're in the first batch, of course, then you get the thing. If you're late, then you don't get that thing. And like I said, it's $39.99, shipping early in November 2024. So like if you order now, they said they're shipping next week. So you're gonna get the discs. So if you get the discs and you have them in hand, I mean, that update's got to be. I mean, come on. If they said they're shipping in a week, the update's got to be within a week, because if you get the thing and try to put it in your Polymega, it's not going to work without the update. So they got to get that in tail, right? And then of course all your Atari Interactive, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. And then your system compatibility by product doesn't actually have any reference to this particular product, but there it is. So there's the Asteroids thing. We can take a look at the little pictures here. There it is again. We got those are your looks at what the cabinets look like. That's kind of cool. And then a close-up look at the cabinet. So it's pretty neat. And then of course your Lynx. So Lynx is now on Polymega. So again, it's kind of cool. There you go. And there's the video. We were just watching that. So we're going to go back to the second one, which is Polymega Collection Volume 2 Karate Champ. So again, you can think, oh, what's Karate Champ? I don't know about Karate Champ. Well, I don't know. It's not just Karate Champ, though. It's basically a Data East collection. So let's go through here. Again, $39.99. Polymega Collection Volume 2 Karate Champ. Revisit the origin of one of gaming's most popular genres with Data East Karate Champ, the first one-on-one fighting video game. Released in 1984, Karate Champ quickly became a worldwide arcade hit, gaining the attention of a growing video games industry with its innovative dual-stick control scheme and unique emphasis placed on precision movements and timing. The collection of classic 2D fighting games features the pioneering Karate Champ arcade game alongside its action-packed spiritual successor, Fighter's History and Fighter's History Dynamite, Karnov's Revenge. This double-disc Polymega collection release also includes a bonus disc version of Fighter's History Dynamite, compatible with Polymega as well as the original Neo Geo system, CD system, I should say. That's cool. So I did a little research before the video. I went out to eBay and I was like, all right, well, how much do you get, like, just for Fighter's History Dynamite alone, US or Japanese, how much can I get a copy on eBay sent to my door? And the price was around $35 for just that game. So what's in this games list? For $39.99. Let's count the games here. You got Karate Champ Arcade, NES, and FDS, which is, I guess, Famicom Disk System. So you get 3 different versions of that game. There's 3. Karate Champ PvP Arcade 4. Fighter's History Arcade, SNES, Super Famicom. So that's 7. Fighter's History Dynamite, Karnov's Revenge Arcade, AES. It's AES. You get the AES version, but the AES, obviously, you're not going to put the AES cart on there. So that's a new version, I guess, maybe. Neo Geo CD and Saturn. So that's 11. That's 11 games, or versions of the games, but 11 games on a collection. What's included? The Polymega game DVD, the Carnob's Revenge Neo Geo CD, the visual companion, the controller reference, the OB spine card for, again, France and Japan, Polymega Collection sticker, a Karate Champ, and Cross Polymega Collection pin while supplies last. Ships early November 2024, and it's, and of course, copyright G mode, because I guess that's who owns all of these games. So that's pretty cool. And again, you get the AES version of Fighters History Dynamite. So that's kind of cool. They were getting like AES stuff and like all that kind of thing. So again, systems that weren't necessarily associated with Polymega, that are going to be associated with Polymega, and you can play these versions of these games, which is kind of cool. So you get your Data East cabinet over here, you get your Fighters History cabinet. You get the that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then of course you got your Karate Champ cabinet looking thing right here, right? Not bad. So it's pretty cool. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. It's good information. I like all of those things, but there is more. There is more. With all of those things come questions, right? Right. So now we can have Polymega collections, CDs or DVDs sent to us with games on them. Well, what can we do with them? There's a whole bunch of people that were on X at the post that asked a whole bunch of questions. So let's go on and go over there. Let's go over to the Polymega on X and read some stuff. Let's read some postings and some replies and all of those things on X. And we'll also talk about some other things. All right. So let's go over to the Polymega Twitter Q&A, the X Q&A, as it were, and talk about that. So there's the original post there. It got shared. Also, let me go, before I even do that, shout out to Tyrannicus. Is the first person to actually tell me anything about this in a post on a different thing, where I did an Atari VCS video, and they were the first person to shout out, say, hey, you know what, you should look at some Polymega news. And I was just getting the kids, so we're going to get dinner, and I was like, oh wow, this is pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to do a Newsline. And well, here we are. But how cool is that? Thank you for that. Also, thanks to a whole bunch of people out there, Mr. Shua, a whole bunch of other people reached out and was like, oh man, you should really look at that. And of course, shout out to the Polymega Discord, because they're a bunch of awesome people. If you guys don't know who they are, go to the YouTube video version of this video when it finally goes live. Hit the link below in that description and get over there and have some Polymega good times with those guys in the Discord. They're good peeps. All right, cool. So this is what they did. They announced. We did the blog. We did all of those things, right? So then they were like, someone was like $50 shipping for Polymega collection. I think there's a mistake. They said try again. They said, hey, shipping rate's much better. Order placed. Okay, so they're happy. Plus update fixing SNES. Great news all around. Already ordered the first two. And yes, it is fixed in 1.1.32. Whatever the SNES thing that was not working is fixed, which is cool. Some ad. There it is. Keith asks, will the games install or are they only playable on discs? Will Star Wars Arcade be one of these releases? That was sneaky. They only answered the first question, though. You can install the games and collect them just like any other system on Polymega. So the Polymega collections are just that, just like regular games. They put them in there. The Polymega sees the whole collection. You can then collect it onto your hard drive, put that disc right on your shelf, and stare at its glory and not have to worry about scratching it anytime you want to keep playing the Polymega thing. So you can actually install the games, which is pretty cool. Hope internal storage problems get fixed. Can't use my Polymega anymore because storage is full. Can't change my other SSD. It doesn't exist in the option. If you still have problems after the update, contact our support team and ask for assistance. What I said. So hopefully that it can get resolved for that person there. People were saying, hey, I ordered my light gun. What's going on with that? Of course, the light gun orders, I think they're starting to ship. There was another sideline Newsline update. The first thing that came out right before they came out with this big giant update was they said somewhere along the way, I think they're just replying to somebody saying, hey, look, if you have the guns ordered, we're starting to get stuff from our facility, so you should see those soon. So if people are looking for the guns, we should get some answers there pretty soon in the forms of people actually receiving this stuff. Somebody wanted the link to purchase was actually in the article, just in case you wanted to do that. Let's see if there's any more. There's Thirsty Raccoons. Okay, the Discord people know about that, and that's it. That was it. That was the only thing. But the big news out of Twitter, of course, is what we had to say is like, can you install the games? And then right there, you can install the games and collect them just like any other system. So that's an awesome thing to know and to talk about, of course. So as we approach the end of this news line and enter into a land where I'm about to go to sleep and wake back up and start immediately talking about other things on a podcast over at the Evercade Effect with my buddy Ed and maybe Pete and Crow and then everybody else that's over on the Evercast, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to sleep on it. Should Blaze be worried here? Now, my instinct says no, because it's two different things. But I noticed some things. So Data East wants to give their licenses to everybody. So I don't think there's going to be a thing where there's going to be a problem getting future Data East collections on Evercade. Should they pursue them, right? We're already getting 2. Data East 2 is coming out in November. Is that the November cart? I think this is the November cart. And we already have Data East Arcade 1. We've got a Data East collection for the console stuff. I think that relationship's good. Now those legacy carts though, for the Atari. Now I always thought in the back pocket, that there was going to be a time where Atari was going to come back to Blaze and be like, okay, cool, let's start putting those things and let's do these collection things again. Now I'm not so sure. They are a 49% interest in Play Magi. Atari is in the Polymega space, and now they're putting out collections of games on their system, along with a module that plays their classic stuff on their system. So I'm thinking the light is starting to dim a little on the hopes that Atari comes back to Blaze and then get some more of those collections out there. It's a little bit worrisome. Certainly going to be a topic for the Evercast tomorrow. I'm 100%. This news is kind of earth-shattering there. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, because everyone can do everything they want. Like, licenses go everywhere. Third parties are a thing. Everyone wants to share with everyone else, unless your name's Nintendo. I think it's going to be okay, but it's very interesting. Now, I also noticed the language about exclusively only on Polymega. Now, obviously, that they're referring to the DVD and the disc and the information that's on there. But does that mean that the AES versions of certain arcade games that they're clearly now going after and getting, are those AES games going to get wrapped up into some kind of miasma that Blaze can no longer access because these guys are going to put them on a Polymega collection? Unknown. That's a new wrinkle, though. There's a new player in the game in this like legally licensed space for retro games. So that's interesting. But the other side of the coin is now we have to worry about there's going to be a price war now, right? So Giga carts are $24.99 US, $19.99 US for regular carts. So we're only talking about $20 here for the Evercades. And they're talking about double, $39.99 for these other collections. Now, yes, Play Magi, Polymega side, on the Data East collection, giving you something you can't get on Polymega or on Evercade. And that is a way to take a thing that's out of their packaging, take it out of their packaging and put it into original hardware and make it work. That's pretty cool. That's a really cool feature. They're basically reprinting games that haven't been printed in a long time, or haven't seen a release. I mean, certainly not a release outside of maybe a a limited run or something like that in forever. That's cool. That's very cool. That's a really awesome feature, and I'm very happy that that is going to happen. But again, it's another interesting wrinkle to this whole thing. Like, are they going to? I don't think they're going to try to. It's not a compete thing, but you just never know. You never know. It's very, very interesting. So before we get out of here, because there are people that are watching on X, and I'm here on StreamYard live, that means that people can actually say things like this, like Mr. Shua. What's going on? Mr. Shua is also a member of the Good Times Club, so we have to thank Mr. Shua because that's what we do here. And in the words of Ric Flair, woo! Indeed. So, and then I wonder if behind closed doors Wade offered to buy Blaze. They probably told him no, and he bailed out Play Magi. That's an interesting theory, Mr. Shua. That's a very interesting theory. Wade had lots of money to throw around, but I don't think Andrew would be one of those people, not to speak for Andrew like I know him, like he's my buddy or something. But, he worked really hard to make sure that that his company, that Blaze, was going to be able to do their own thing for a really long time. So I don't know necessarily if that would have been a real big worry, to be honest. For him, for them, and then I don't think that Wade could have puts a lot of really big numbers on the check, and I don't think that would have moved the needle for them at all. I think they wanted to do what they wanted to do. But you're right, though. Like if they were looking for some kind of hardware partner, and they were trying to do that, and they were like, "Hey, let's buy a majority interest," and Blaze said no. Then they turned right around and be like, "Well, who else is making hardware right now? We need to make a partner. Let's go. Let's do some things because we need to do something." And then here we are with the Polymega. I still think because Polymega was the chosen one, right? I still think that later on down the line, if there's ever like a new wave Polymega, that kind of thing, that Atari is going to be in there in the mix. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if they had a new revision of the hardware or something like that with a new processor that was able to do all this retro goodness and awesome stuff, and they were able to like coalesce and make it like a VCS2 or something like that. You're able to merge the digital storefront from Atari into the Polymega, and you were able to do those kind of things too. Wouldn't be surprised in the least. Now, of course, all that's pipe dream, and obviously, I don't know anything about that, but wouldn't that be some interesting things? I think that would be interesting things. So anyway, we thank Mr. Shua for commenting, and if ever there is a time where I do one of these live, big giant things, be sure to comment so we can talk. So, and as long as I see the little comment bar go up, we'll read them. We'll read them before we go. Mr. Shua's got one more. He says, "Come on, module for the Jaguar and Atari Solo releasing the Atari Lynx Plus." That'd be kind of cool, right? They just put Atari stuff. I saw BCB, Ballistic Coffee Boy, with the Atari Hot News. So go check out him on YouTube, Ballistic Coffee Boy. He's got a great channel. All about Atari, all about all sorts of cool stuff in that realm. They're just putting Jaguar like shirts and stuff out, pushing the Jag. What's that all about? They always usually do something right before, they do some kind of pop culture hit before they announce some other kind of thing. Would not be surprised if they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, the Atari Pro module, it's going to do 2600, 7800, but we didn't also say there's going to be another slot on there you can put Jaguar games in." I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, of course, they'd have to put out some whacked out controller for it all to work, but why not? And the Lynx Plus, I'm telling you guys, I think that's the next one. Because they're working with Songbird. Songbird does all the stuff with the re-released Lynx cartridges. Songbird did a great job with Blaze when they did the two collections. When they did the Lynx collections, I could see it. I could see it happening. And now, because you got Lynx games that are coming out on those that Asteroids collection, I can guarantee you, they put out a Missile Command collection. They put another couple Lynx games on there, and I can see it. I can see it happening. There's a lot of bleed over. There's gonna be a lot of this like, hey, I already own this on Evercade. Why do I need this on Polymega? But I mean, if you make it interesting and make it cool, nice and shiny, I mean, I'll play some of these games over again. For sure. For sure. All right. So before this just becomes a giant live stream, I think we got to get out of here so I can post this on YouTube, right, and get this out of here. So let's do the thing that we always do at the end of every single video here on Bacon Ice Cream Productions. And like I said, that is thank all of the members of the Good Times Club. So let's do that right now. Let's thank the EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Phantom Fiction, Skeletrex, Lloyd R. Jim, Papa Pete, The Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Willig, Gunsy20, Tales from the Jundland Waste, Herb Wars, and Immortal Sojourn. You guys want to join in the fun and help do things like 1080p StreamYard? We're here on StreamYard going right to X. You want to keep that going, keep the bills flowing or whatever. You can go ahead and join. You get some cool exclusive videos. You get all sorts of other cool behind the scenes content, all sorts of other fun stuff. Plus, like little emoji things you put in the chat on the YouTubes. Want to do live streams and all kind of stuff. You usually hit the button there. You can also hit the subscribe button on the YouTubes. You can hit the follow button here on X. If you want some more stuff, make sure you're following me here, because then you'll get the notifications when I go live. Leave likes, leave dislikes, do all the things, do all of those things. And we appreciate everyone doing all of it. And of course, leave some comments in the YouTube video when it goes live, because of course, we want to talk to you. And then one last thing for Mr. Shua, because there it is right here before we go. Songword would make a great Atari purchase partnership like what happened with Albert and Atari Age. You're absolutely correct. Because as long as they do stuff with the homebrew stuff, that homebrew scene, they just bring it to the forefront, put out carts, celebrate it, do all those kind of things, I think that's a home run. I think it's a home run. Because not only do you have places for these games to be played now with newer hardware, with Lynx Plus, like that kind of stuff, with Polymega, with the Atari 2600 and 7800 Plus, there's all these crazy things to be able to do that. It's really good. It's really good stuff. Oh, we got Josh in here. Josh in the house says, Fly Atari Fly, Pong F. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, all things looking up in the Atari things. And I think it's because of that partnership that we're getting all of this cool stuff on the Polymega side. So that is awesome. Thank you guys all so much for participating and for saying hi. And until next time, we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich, and we'll see you guys later. Take it easy, guys, and check us out right here on Bacon Ice Cream Productions for more. Later.
RTSC.baconicecream.com